Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to keep talking about maps. I know we have talked about globes in previous lessons versus a regular map. We have talked about reading different types of maps. So we talked about political maps, and we also talked about climate maps and population maps and physical maps, so all different kinds in our last lesson. We're going to keep talking about maps, but today it's going to be a little different. We're going to be just looking at a map with something called coordinates. Say coordinates. Good. So you can look at this map here and whoa, this doesn't really look like a normal map that I'm used to seeing. And we're going to talk about why this is different and what is going on in this picture. So I'm going to read this first sentence here. Coordinates are numbers or letters or both along the margins of a map. So the margins right here are the ends of our map. We have letters along this side and along this side here. And then we have numbers across the top and we have numbers across the bottom. Just by looking at these coordinates, do you have a guess on what we might use a coordinate for? Why would it be helpful to use a coordinate on a map? Any guesses? Well, I'm going to keep reading and hopefully you find your answer here. Coordinates help you find the location of a place on a map. So if I'm looking at the map here and I'm trying to explain a location and I want to get exactly the location I'm looking for, well, I could use my coordinates to tell somebody what I'm looking for. It really is helpful with location and finding places that might be a little hard to describe or they might not have a specific name like a state or a city that I'm trying to find. So I'm going to keep reading here. Let's find the place located C18. It says put your finger on the letter C and slide it sideways until you meet 18. What location did you find? So let's look at our map here. I'm going to zoom in here. So we always start with the letter first. And again, you have the letters on the side, both sides of our map. And this is a map of the United States. So our letters are along the side here. The directions said to find C and drag your finger along that line. So you're going to come with me. Oh, let me click up here again. Sorry about that. You're going to find C. Drag your finger. You might have to hover on your iPad, but drag your finger along that line C. Very good. So that's what they're talking about here. And then they said to slide it sideways until it meets 18. So let's go back here. So I have C that I'm going backward, side to side with, and then it wants me to stop until I get to 18. Do you see 18 on my coordinate plane? I do. I see 18 right here and 18 at the bottom. That just means I'm going to follow along this line here. So that's my 18, and I'm also looking at my C. So to find the location, I have to look at where the lines meet. Where do they match up? So you might have to take your fingers coming from C this way, and then 18 coming from the bottom, and come up at the same time. I know it's hard, I only have one cursor here, until they meet. What did you land on? C18. Wow, we landed right in Michigan. So how would I write that out as a coordinate plane if I was trying to explain where to find Michigan? I would say C, I would put a comma, and then I would put the number 18. Because looking right here, again, if I go to my C, that means my coordinate that I'm looking for, or the place I'm looking for, is going to be on C. And then the number it wants me to stop at is 18, which is right here. If I go to where those lines cross each other, that's going to be the location there. Let's practice a little more with this. I want you to guess where I want to go on vacation. So I'm going to tell you that the location I want to go on vacation is J20. See if you can find the location on the map. You might want to pause the video here for just a moment if you need some more time. I would like to go to my vacation at J, 20. So see if you can find out where that location is. Pause the video if you need some more time. All right, so let's see if you're able to find out where I want to go to vacation on. So I said J, 20. So let's go ahead and look at the J's first. So I know it's going to be on this line here for J. That means I either want to go to Mexico, Texas, and J does go into Louisiana a little bit, or Florida. So that's my J line here. So I know Miss Kendra wants to go on vacation on one of those areas there. But I also gave you the second clue that is going to tell you exactly where I want to go. And that would be 20. So let's look at 20 here. If I go 20 and I keep going up until I hit J, where did I end up? If you guessed Florida, that would be correct. That would be a great place that I would love to vacation in, would be Florida. Let's do one more. I want you guys to guess the state that was the best state I have visited on vacation. In a past vacation I have taken, one of my favorite states. So go ahead and look for, let's do F7. F7. So you might want to pause the video to give yourself a chance to look for that location. And I know if you're not super familiar with our state abbreviations there, it might be a little challenging, so just be doing your best on that. But again, I'm looking for F7. Pause the video if you need time to look for it. So if I'm looking for F7, I'm going to start with my F line here. I know it drags across the middle of the United States. Whoa, there's a lot of states. There's California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri. There's so many on my F line here. So how in the world are you going to know what my favorite state was that I visited? Well, you have to use that next clue, which was my 7. So my first coordinate line is my F. Now I'm going to look for my 7. Goes up and down like this. So California, Oregon, or Washington. Well, look at where your 7 and your F meet. It's going to be this location right here. And CA stands for California. That was one of my favorite states that I have visited. I want you guys to use this photo. It's going to be in a picture in this assignment. Use this photo and play this game with somebody at your house if you are able to. Pick a location and give them the coordinates. See if they can guess the answer to where you want to go on vacation, or maybe a state that you would like to visit. So you can use the picture that I have attached to play this game with someone at home. You'll just have to come up with some questions and play hide and seek using this coordinate map. After that, you guys are going to be watching a video right here, which I will attach next. And you will also be completing this assignment in Notability. This is an attachment in Notability. And this is grid coordinates in the garden is what it's called, coordinates on a park map. So we are going to be kind of playing detective here, trying to find the locations with our coordinate here. You are going to use your numbers along the side and your letters along the bottom, just like we did on our other map. So let's go ahead and practice this. It says, what is the grid coordinate for the swing set? So I can see my swing set is in this box right up here. Your job is to find the coordinate for that swing set. What do we start with? Our letters or our numbers? You always start with your letters. So I'm going to look at the bottom row here, and I'm going to see which letter is in line with my swing set. So I'm going to take my swing set and I'm going to go down, 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 down. Oh, looks like it's letter D. So that would be the first part of my answer here. It'd be D. Oops, and I'm going to actually make my pen a little smaller here. So it will be D, comma, you have to put that comma in there. And now I'm looking for my number. So I have already found that D is part of my answer here. Now I'm looking for that number. Is it in 1, 2, 3? Nope, none of those. I'm going to go all the way up to 10. And that is where I find these two lines are meeting each other. So it would be D, comma, 10 would be the coordinate for that swing set there. All right, erase this. You're going to do the same thing for the coordinate of the fish pond. I know the fish pond is a little big here, so you could have different possible answers, but as long as you're in this area here, your coordinate plane will be good. So just make sure you pick something within that fish pond there is what you're looking for. Then you're going to do some hide and seek. So where it says what is in B5, you have to figure out what is hiding in B5. So I'm going to look at my letters first. Oh, there's B. And then I'm going to go up until I hit what number? Well, it says B5. What is the item that is in line with that? So make sure you write that out there. And then you're going to do the same with H. H is right here. And then 1. Make sure you drag your H up until you get to 1. And you bring your 1 all the way over to your H. What is the item that was hidden there? So make sure you're writing out your answers. And then lastly, E, you are going to give directions to somebody who wants to go from the slide, and the slide is up here, to the park bench. So how would you explain to somebody how to get to the bench here? You have some words down here that could be very helpful in which direction and which way that you should go. So be creative with that and give somebody directions of how they would get from the slide to our picnic table is what that is there. Okay? All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Any questions that you have for us, make sure you reach out. See you later.